We're joined by CEO of Boxer, Ben Shalom, following a fiery press conference between Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. How do you think that went?
Yeah, it was good. Both fighters obviously very confident. I think that shows both teams very confident. That's what makes for a good fight. There's a lot on the line, so you can feel it.
It's fair to say there's been a bit of friction between you and Frank Warren in the build-up to this fight. You friends now?
We are. I think, I think we saw eye to eye, and in the end, it makes sense for boxing. Before we came in, sometimes it's like, how can a broadcaster work with another broadcaster? How can a promoter work with another promoter? But I think sometimes you just got to make the best fights you can, and we want fighters to come to us and know that we're going to get them the best fights, wherever it is. And this one made sense. The rematch is on Sky, if there is a rematch, and they were reasonable in the end, and we saw eye to eye, and we wanted the same things. And Joseph Parker really wanted the fight, so in the end, it was an obvious deal.
And how does Joseph Parker get the job done on September the 24th?
I think he just does what he usually does, which is high tempo, high energy. I think maybe he needs to be really concentrated in the rounds to make sure he's winning the rounds. I think he's going to be hard to hit. I think he's going to be tagging Joe a lot. And I think he can win just based on movement and speed and experience. He's got a lot more experience in the ring. He's fought a lot better guys than Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce has never been in with someone like Joseph Parker in the professional game. So I expect him to do the business.
There are some fans who are asking for a bit more of an aggressive Joseph Parker, just because of his last few fights. Do you reckon that that's something that him and Andy Lee are going to implement into the game plan?
I do. I think when you start with a new trainer, there's always a bit of caution and you're getting used to something new. I think he's had 2 fights now, and the second you saw a fight, you saw a vast improvement. 100% going to see a vast improvement again. This timing of this fight is perfect for him. He's ready, he's in Morecambe, he's got his trainer, he feels good. It's a renaissance for him. He feels like this is the perfect fight for him, and I think maybe a little bit too much looked into the Dubois win for Joyce. I think Daniel hadn't prepared very well, ridiculously inexperienced at that point to take on a fight like that, and I think Joseph Parker is a different animal. So I think timing is everything.
And all eyes are on Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, looking at Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk in that rematch. Joseph Parker knows what it's like to be in the ring with Anthony Joshua. How do you think that fight goes between Joshua and Usyk on August the 20th?
It just comes down to mentality, doesn't it? I think everyone said the obvious, but if Anthony Joshua's mind is right, then I think everyone agrees that it can be an even fight. I think the game plan last time, admittedly from him, was not right. I think if it's going to come down to what is his game plan, how aggressive is he going to be, and even then I think it's still a 50-50. I think if he is right, if he's prepared well, if he's got his strategy on point, then it's a 50-50 fight, and that's what makes it so exciting. So I can't wait to see what happens, and obviously Joseph Parker will be very keen on what happens as well.
I've got to push you. Who do you think wins that fight?
I think Usyk has to be the favourite, but I'd love, as a Brit, AJ to win.
And we saw the Lionesses riding the crest of a wave. Obviously, they won on Sunday. They won the Euros against Germany side in the final. We see women's sports booming, especially women's boxing. Savannah Marshall was one of those athletes that's really a beacon of light in women's boxing. Takes on Clarissa Shields next month, a big month for Boxer. How do you think Savannah does against Clarissa?
It's a massive fight, and as you say, women's sport just has gone off the Richter scale, and we expect the Lionesses to be on September the 10th. We think it's going to be another celebration of women's boxing. Maya Baumgartner as well on the card, which is a huge unification fight. I think that's sort of gone under the radar. That would headline any other night. I think Savannah's training well. She's locked herself away. She's with Peter Fury. They know Clarissa like the back of their hand. They've been watching her for years, and they've been waiting for this moment, and now she feels like she has the experience of headlining shows. She has the experience of top level opposition and winning her world title, but she's never fought someone like Clarissa. So I think again, that one in particular is a ridiculous clash of styles where Savannah, we know, can end the night in any round, whilst Clarissa is probably the most talented, the fastest, the busiest fighter in that middleweight division. So it's impossible one to call, but obviously we think Savannah is now in her prime and will do the business on September the 10th.